guys, and welcome to another video. Today I am going to show you guys how you can achieve an everyday makeup look with only 6 products. So if you're a beginner, this video is for you. Don't scroll. It's 2025 and you still don't know how to do your makeup. Listen, no, it's enough. We're not relying on people, we're not relying on friends, we're not relying on a makeup artist. Stop wasting that money and learn how to do your own makeup, okay? And it doesn't have to be a whole lot. I did a quick little makeup look today. I just got home from an outing, so I'm gonna wash my face. I'm gonna show you guys how you can achieve a cute little everyday makeup look with only 6 products, okay? All you need is concealer. Concealer is that girl, because the concealer could work for foundation, it can work for the bright under eye, literally whatever you want. Same thing with foundation really, but concealer is often more full coverage. So I'm gonna go with the concealer today. I'm gonna go with a color corrector because I'm not using any foundation. We're gonna use some blush. It's essential, babes. Blush is that girl. And then obviously I wasn't blessed with brows, so I need an eyebrow pencil. And if you're blessed with good brows, even better. You don't even need 6 products, you need 5. So yes, that girl. And then obviously we're gonna have to set our face with some powder because we're using concealer, we don't want to crease. And lastly, we're gonna finish off with some setting spray. And you can really use whatever of your choice. This is just a setting spray that kind of blends everything together. If you're gonna stay out for a while and you need something more longevity, I would recommend a fixing spray. This is the fixing spray that I love. Oh my god, it's so good. Literally your makeup will stay on all day. But it definitely sets the face rather than just like melt everything together. So yeah, let's get right into it. I'm gonna wash my face and then we're gonna get right into the tutorial. Okay, so now that I washed my face, let's get into it. I did do my eyebrows off camera, or redo them just for time purposes. But I'm gonna drop another video where I do my full base, so I'm gonna do my eyebrows in that one. But before we even get into it, I need to say this, or you need to understand this about makeup. If there's one thing that you can take away from this video, is that the outcome of your makeup and how smooth and good it looks is a little bit of technique. Product, yes, but like really you can finesse any product if you really know what you're doing. My number one thing that I've learned like throughout the years just doing my own makeup is skin prep. The way you start, before you even start your makeup, prepping your skin, meaning washing your face. I always wash my face before doing my makeup, just because that's my preference. You don't have to do it, but I promise you it does make a ton when you do your makeup. So washing my face, moisturizing, using my skincare routine. But number one is moisturizing your skin. You need to glow. So I'm not going to use any primer. So when you do your makeup and you use moisturizer and you prep, that's going to be your primer. That's going to work as your primer. So my skin now is a little bit glowy. It's a little bit sticky too because I skin prepped. I don't know if you guys can see that. I tried zooming in so that you guys can see. So yes, when you moisturize your skin, it kind of creates that same, it's not a primer, but it is a primer. It's literally your primer before your primer. If you decide to use a primer, that's great. Your makeup is gonna stick to that primer. But if you don't, and if you choose not to use a primer, prepping your skin is gonna be number one. It's gonna be essential because what you do to your face, moisturizing, it's gonna create a little bit of stickiness, softness, moisture to your skin that your makeup can lay on, and also help your the finishing look of looking clean, looking soft, and looking moisturized. So number one, before you even start, wash your face, moisturize. That is number one, okay? But now that that's out the way, let's get into the makeup routine. I'm gonna be looking down a little bit because I have my mirror here. But what I do before I even start, I use my color corrector. So like I mentioned, today we're gonna use 6 products. Yeah, that's all you really need. So first, before we even start, color corrector. As you can see, I do have discoloration on my skin. I'm not very like smooth. I'm smooth, but I do have different type of skin tones, or you know, I did grow up having a lot of eczema, so that's also a huge reason. I always start with a color corrector, and I always go underneath my eyes, so here, and you can really don't need a whole lot. This even more than I usually do. We're gonna go underneath because I look tired and we need to fix that. I just go there. That's a lot. That's fine. A little bit on the bridge of my nose because it's gonna have getting that snatched look. Underneath my nose right here on top of my lip is very essential. As you can see, I'm very dark here as a result of eczema, so I go here. And then I usually go just like anywhere I might have had a pimple that I popped and it became dark, whatever. I usually go a little bit on the cheek here, a little bit down here. I had a pimple right there, and a little bit on my cheek on this side. And that's about it. That's what I do. I lay it out like that. I let it sit for a little bit, and I usually on this stage like kind of brush my brows with some gel to make them stand, you know, the hairs, get that illusion, and let it dry. I usually just go in with my concealer brush or just a sponge, but for this step I kind of like using the sponge. I don't know, even though the sponge usually kind of takes up a little bit of product, I like it better than I like the brush. So we're just gonna go in with the sponge and kind of even it out. And this is actually a lot. I shouldn't have put this much, but here we go. It's gonna be okay because we're gonna cover it with concealer anyways. So I just go along the nose like this and just even it out. And you want to make sure that you don't leave it too red. I use a red color corrector. There are other color correctors that are more skin color like. I don't know, I haven't tried them. I just like this one. It's cheap also if you haven't used the LA Girl concealer. I think this is also one of the better options for dark skin girls. So if you're a dark skin girly with a red undertone like I have, then I would recommend this. This is a good one, honestly. It's really easy to work with too, and it lasts a pretty long while. So just go in, and you don't want to drag or anything. You want to push it in. Just dab and go along your face. And then look up a little bit. You know, you're going to look crazy in this part, but you got to look up a little bit and get that under eye. And as you can see here on my eyes, it's already very much more even. It's not as dark, or it's not dark at all underneath my eyes. And it's really going to help when I use my concealer to bring, because my concealer also a little bit yellowish, which I don't know why I bought it, but it is what it is. And I do have a red undertone, so it helps a little bit with the yellowness. And it also helps cover, get more full coverage than what it would be with just the concealer. It's not always perfect. Like you can see, like I still have a little bit of darkness here and here that the sponge took away. That's why the sponge is a little to me, but it's okay. I usually go in with some more and just use the brush in that case, but right now I'm just gonna move on. So we finished using our first product. So product number 1 is a color corrector of your choice. I used the red color corrector from LA Girl. Literally been that girl for a while. It's cheap, it's easy to work with. I have a red undertone, so I like this one, but you can use any of your choice. You can even use a, like I said, like a skin color corrector that's more towards your skin tone. It's brown. They have brown ones, caramel, you know, all the different skin types that you can use. But yeah, so color corrector number uno, done. We're gonna move on to our second product, which is concealer. And concealer is a funny one because you can either use a concealer that is more skin like, meaning it's closer to your skin type. This is obviously not my color in terms of like full face coverage. So I'm just gonna use it for concealer purposes, which is underneath the eyes, underneath the nose here, on top of my lip. here and a little bit on my forehead. What you can do if you choose to go with a concealer that's closer to your skin color or even your skin color, then you can use it for your full face. So you can use it as a foundation, which works as well. But for this tutorial, we're going to use it as a concealer just for those specific areas. So I'm gonna open it. This is really full coverage for me. I don't like using a whole lot of product, so I'm gonna scrape it off once I open it. I'm gonna put a little bit in here, and as you can see, my placement is not right underneath the eyes because I do have crease spots here. As you can see, my eye crease is right there. So if I were to put product right here and it would dry up, that would make your makeup crease. So a recommendation, a little tip, hot tip, if you don't want your makeup to crease, put it under a little bit underneath, and not right under your eye. So that's what I do. I just put a little bit right there. That's all I use, and I don't even dip my tip again. I use a little bit on top, on the nose right there, a dot literally on here, on there, and then I go like a little mustache, and that's it. That's all the concealer we're gonna use. We're gonna let it sit and dry. If you want your concealer to be a little bit more full coverage and you don't want to wipe away too much product, please let it sit and dry a little bit. Some people like to dry it for a few minutes. Others use a fan to speed up the process. I just like to let it sit. What I usually do is I do my eyebrows while this concealer sits. So it sits for at least 10 minutes, like 5 to 10 minutes usually. But I already did my eyebrows, so we're gonna still let it dry and jump over to our blush. Today we're using the Rare Beauty blush. It's my favorite. I have not tried that many blushes, I'm not even gonna cap to you, but this one for dark skinned girls is hands down the best concealer I've tried because it's so rich. This one in Juvia's Place, this is not a blush, but I love their product as well. It's very rich, it's very pigmented. It works well for dark skin complexions, dark skin colors, and it's perfect. So I love the Rare Beauty. You don't even need a lot of product and it's just glows on your skin. So if you're a dark skin girl, I definitely recommend, especially if you have a red undertone, to use more red and orange blushes. I stand by that, hands down. It's the best for colored, you know, for dark skin girlies, for melanin girlies. For a POC, red and orange, chef's kiss. It looks so beautiful on dark skin, so beautiful on brown skin as well, caramel, whatever you are. If you're pigmented, you have a little bit of color, I recommend. Pink is cute too, but I feel like pink is very cold sometimes. It has a cold undertone and it's just not, it doesn't pop as much. But there's some pinks that are really good, but it's really hard to find a good pink. So I stand by the red one from Rare Beauty. So I'm just gonna go in. I'm gonna go with 2 dots to begin with. I just put on 2 dots, and it's not a lot of product as you can see, but it's really pigmented, so it's gonna show. And if I need more, you can always go in with more. When you do your makeup, if you're a beginner, always go in with less and build, because if you put too much, there's no going back. If you put a little bit, you can always build. So remember that. And then I'm gonna take like a flat brush. It looks like this. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's just a flat brush. This is the blush, and I literally just tipped a little bit on there, or dipped a little bit on there, and I'm just gonna put it like a contour on my nose, but I'm using blush. That's it. I'm gonna let it sit, and then I'm just gonna blend it out a little bit, and it gives you that illusion of a contour, but it's blush, you know. Now we're gonna blend. And I don't know, I've heard so many different types, or so many different beauty, you know, creators or makeup artists that says like don't smile when you do your blush, and I never understood why. I stay smiling. I don't know why, but it still looks good. I'll be like, it's so funny. But do whatever you do. Do whatever you want to do. Honestly, that's what I've learned. As you can see, it's really, really rich. It's very pigmented. The color just pops right away, and I use 2 dots. And it's not even a whole lot of products. So I love Rare Beauty. I stay by it. I stay buying it, honestly, as they're restocking on it, and it's just so good to me. It just treats me so good. So I love it. And I usually go a little bit on the nose, just like that. And that's it. So what's that? That's 4 products already. It's 4 products, and we're more than halfway. That was the blush, and we're gonna move back to the concealer now and blend it out because we let it sit for a little bit. I always first go in with a brush. I use a flat brush. It's very dense. There's so many different types, techniques, tips that people recommend. There's brushes specifically for concealers. I just use what works for me. Honestly, I'm not an expert. I've just been a girly who loves doing her own makeup. So yeah, I just go in with a flat brush like that, and I start from the bottom, and I kind of blend it out, but not fully, and I leave it like that, and then I move on. I jump over this part because this is the part that needs the most coverage, so I let it dry for as long as I can. So I move on to my nose, and I go here, and I just blend it out like that all the way up. Like that, and then I connect it to the top, blend it out like that, all the way down. Wait, did I say 4 products? I meant 1, 2, whatever. You guys get the gist. Okay, and I just blend it out. And it's not perfect. I leave it a little bit because I'm gonna go in with a sponge. So I just blend it out so it's not as harsh, like that. And then I go back to the under eye, and I start with my under eye, and I always start from the bottom, and I spread it out all the way across my eye. As you guys can see, I'm not going in the crease just yet. That's gonna be the last you want to do. So I just go, I drag it out to where I want it to go, almost somewhere like that. I continue dragging it down. Okay, what you want to do with the technique when it comes to blending, you never want to drag your makeup. You never want to drag any product. You want to dab and kind of like swipe. It's not really a swipe. You just want to dab, honestly. Dab along, and then once I feel like I've like put it everywhere kind of where I want it, I start moving up to here where I do have just like a natural crease. That's just how my eyes always been. Look up, and I just put it underneath here. Probably look crazy right now, but yeah, I look up a little bit. I go along the nose of how and where I want it to be, and then I move on to the other side, and I do the same thing. Now that I've blended out pretty much everything, the lines are hard. I left this part alone because I like to blend it with my sponge. That's just the way I like it. I've tried different techniques, and I don't like it a lot with the brush, so I left it. But as you can see, the lines are really rough, like it's, you know, very yellowish, all that stuff. But we're gonna go in with our sponge to blend everything out and make it more seamless. So I start with the same order as I went in with the brush, and then I'm gonna end with this part. So we go in here and blend it out, and you want to make sure that it kind of goes out so that it's not just like one spot. You want to blend it out, you know. And I usually also use the bottom on the corners because I don't have any product here, and I go around like that just to make sure it blends. And then I go on the nose, top all the way up, and then I flip it over once again, go around the corners to make sure that it's really blended like that. And then here, I start here. As you can see, this line between the concealer and the blush usually are very harsh because it's just two different products using two different brushes. But once you go with the sponge, you can always blend out that line, make it more blurry and seamless. So I start right there. As you can see, kind of blends together now. And then I start working myself up underneath the eye towards the nose. And then I look up, make sure you get that under eye like that. And then the other side, I did the same thing. Okay. And usually the concealer kind of ends here, but try to drag it up in here as much as possible because it will help with, you know, looking more blended and avoiding those harsh lines and endings. So I usually go up here. It might be a little hard when you have lashes, but just try your best to get in there. And yeah, now that it's blended pretty much, you don't see any harsh lines, I go down to this part and I just blend it. You want to make sure to drag it up here as well to connect the concealer. It's really a preference thing. I didn't used to do that, but I feel like it looks better. It kind of just blends everything better. And we're done with that. So now we've used our concealer, we used our blush and color corrector, and we did our eyebrows. What I always do, I don't even add more product. I go back to my brush that I used to blend out my blush, and I just dab it exactly in the same spots just to add back some more life to the blush that kind of disappeared with me blending. And I go back on my nose and I kind of just drag it along these lines, the bridge of my nose. I'll drag it along the bridge of my nose. I dab it, kind of swipe it on the bottom of my nose and go back here. And sometimes if I want more product, I go in with some more blush on each side. And if I don't want it, I don't. It's really a preference thing. It kind of, if you want that soft glam or if you want a more pop. I also usually go on top here on my forehead just to add some more life since I don't have any foundation. And I'm not a huge fan of doing a whole beat concealer everything and not anything on your forehead. Just my preference. Some people can do that if they have flawless skin. Even if you don't have flawless skin, really, like, do whatever you want to do. But for me, myself, and I like to put some product up here. And I don't even usually do a lot of foundation on there, but I like to do something just to, like, make it match, you know? So what I do sometimes is I add a dot more to my blush. Like, you can't even see the dots. Is one there, one there, and one there, and there, and there. It's really small because it's so pigmented and I don't want a whole lot. I just do that and I start blending again just to bring that life back in and that redness. Right there, go back to my nose, and I kind of just play with it a little bit around my face where you want to add more color, darker colors, like blush and contour is really around your cheeks, on your forehead, and underneath your jaw to make that, give that snatched look. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing that, and I'm just going in with that on top of my forehead, underneath here, back there, and I kind of just play with my brushes and my sponges in this stage. I kind of go back and forth with it, blend it, add more color, blend it. You don't have to add more products, just use your brushes back and forth. It's gonna add that color, but it's also gonna blend everything together. Okay, once I'm done with that, it's time to go in with some powder or kind of setting powder of your liking, whatever you prefer. I like, it's not a full glam, it's not full coverage and all that, and I haven't used foundation and all that stuff. And I don't really bake. I love to go in with a more skin tone baking powder or setting powder, or whatever you want to call it. My favorite is Laura Mercier. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, but that's my favorite. It is brown in color, so it's closer to my skin tone. It's not yellowish, so it won't look crazy when I put it on. And it's just what I prefer, but this is my holy grail. This is what I use every day. You can use it to bake, you can use it just to set quickly, you can use it around your face. It's brown, like I said, so it's gonna blend really seamlessly to your skin. This is what fits me. Everybody have their preferences, but whatever setting powder you have, whatever finishing powder you have, this is time. It's time for the setting powder to glow. It's time for them to take the stage. So because I used a liquid blush, I do this after the blush. But if I were to use a powdered blush, I would set my concealer before, if that makes sense. Because liquid, I want to use my liquids before you want to move on to the dry products. You don't want to go back and forth too much because it can kind of destroy and ruin the consistency and the outcome of your makeup. But some people can do that really well. For me, what works for me, using the liquids and then using the dry products. So we're gonna go in with the setting powders in all the areas that I've used concealer. We're gonna start here. We're gonna dab, and I don't really let it sit. I kind of dab it into my skin. That's what I like to do. And then I go on the bridge of my nose all the way here, on top here, and then I also dab it on my hand before, so it's just even. And then we'll go over here all the way. And I don't set the creases of my under eye just yet. I like to set it lastly, because if you have eyes like me, your makeup under your concealer can crease pretty easily. But what I like to do is I make sure I have some product on my puffer. I get my sponge once again, or your brush, whatever you prefer, and you want to look up while you blend it out like that, and you don't want to look down until you set it. So leave your face like that, have your puffer close by, and then put it on like this. So now you've set your under eye without looking down, and it's gonna help deferring or preventing creasing a lot. So you want to look up, use your sponge, and then right away go in with your puffer and your setting powder. And yeah, I look a little crazy, but you got to do what you got to do to look good, you know what I'm saying? So that's what you want to do. You want to go in with that, and then just blend it out. Once that's done, again, you just want to play with your brushes. I go back in with my okay guys, my camera died, so we're gonna have to finish. I was recording on my phone today, so we're gonna finish recording on my camera. So yeah, like I said, or I think I finished off saying that you want to play around with your brush. That's just a weird word to say, but you want to play around with it and just go in and add more kind of color to your face. You don't have to add more product. I just go in with brush alone. That's all you need. And then once I'm done with that, and I kind of like my concealer and stuff, I go in with my eyebrow pencil once again, just to kind of finish it up, clean it up a little bit. I brush them up like so, and then I also add a little bit more just to make them a little softer in the beginning. I don't like too harsh lines, or lines that are too harsh, so I kind of add a little of it, and then I blend it. I'll kind of brush it out, I would say, just to make it more seamless. And once we're done with that, we are gonna go in with our setting spray. and make everything just sit well. Hold your breath a little bit before you before you breathe, because breathing in that product, it ain't good. Okay, and now when we're done with that, we're gonna use, because I know everybody does this. If you don't do it, I don't know what you're doing. Eyebrow pencils, dry eyeliners, any pen of color, really, that you can use on your face is also a lip liner. And I stand by that. It don't matter what it is, you can use it as a lip liner. So to elevate your look, I always do my lips, love doing my lips. I usually go for a brown, pink brown, I don't know how to explain it, but like a red undertone brown type of look. But when you don't have a lot of products and all you have is those six products that we use today, you can use that eyebrow pencil as a lip liner. Yes, you can, and we're going to do it today. So we're just going to clean up our lips a little bit before, so we can start on a clean canvas. We're just going to clean our lips before, so that they're dry. And then we're going to use the same eyebrow pencil that we used on the eyebrows, we're gonna use for our lips. And I used the Morphe eyebrow pencil. It's really good, really. It's really underestimated. I don't see a lot of people talk about it. It's really affordable, so if you don't want to spend a lot of, big bucks on your product, Morphe is a really good makeup brand. I think they have some good gems, and they're not too expensive as well. They're very affordable. So I just go in with that eyebrow pencil. That's not a lip liner. And I just line my lips. Okay, period. It's usually darker. I don't usually go for this dark of a look, but okay, and that's pretty much it. And obviously we're gonna have to use some kind of lip gloss, some kind of Aquaphor, Carmex, whatever you got that's gonna moisturize your lips. I guess we can count it as an extra product, so make it 7. But I don't know, if you're a girl and you don't have any type of moisturizer for your lips, you need to get in your bag. So you can even use an Aquaphor and it will look good. Dead ass, it will look good. So I'm not even, and I don't count it as a makeup product. So we're gonna use Aquaphor today, and we're gonna see what that looks like. That's it. There you have it. Obviously use a little bit more than like the, I guess, regular everyday, but it kind of gives a little glow to your lips. You don't even need to use a lip gloss to elevate your look. So use that brow pencil, and that's it. So this is the finishing look that I did. It's really a soft, quick, everyday glam that you can use or you can do with only 6 products. And obviously if you're a girl that don't wear makeup, it's not for you. Like, I love that for you, but it's for the girls who want to learn how to do their makeup. So with those products, we created this soft everyday glam. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I am going to be posting more makeup videos. I'm going to do my full face and how to create a strong base. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you're on a journey to start your makeup, please let me know in the comments what else you want to see, what you want me to recommend, and I'll definitely do it for you guys. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Real hot girl shit. Yeah, I'm in my bag, but I'm in his too.